This is Gary from Pickleball Travel. I'm here with Jigme, and he is in Bhutan. And I was so fortunate to have met you online, and such an exotic place, Bhutan. And you're getting into pickleball a little bit.
Yes. Anyway, Gary, thank you for reaching out also. I'll just give you a short introduction about myself. My name, as you mentioned, is Jigme. I'm from Bhutan. We're actually the land of cross-national happiness and not GDP. We actually focus mainly on the values of people also. And our country basically is actually focusing more, they don't focus so much on economic development, but also a holistic approach focusing on well-being of the people and the sustainability of the society. In terms of about myself, actually, I'm a civil engineer with with a master's in environmental engineering, and I worked in the government for about 15 years. And eventually, I decided to quit and follow my passion, which was tourism, meeting people, traveling the world. And quite recently, I also built my own indoor basketball court. The interest started out because my son loved basketball. I early built a futsal court where there were a lot of youths engaging in that activity. And I built the indoor basketball court. But of course, now my son has gone to Brown University, he's out of the country. But my daughter, who is in 10 years old in grade 4, she's enjoying. We're doing a lot of basketball coaching. And given that, the indoor court has about 3 badminton courts, I thought, why not? And I had a few people who were saying they're coming to Bhutan, they're talking about pickleball. So I was thinking, why not explore pickleball? Because my court has 3 linings of badminton. So I was just interested in that. So that's why I reached out to you as well. At Bhutan Guru.
At Bhutan Guru. And I'll put a link in.
It has about 168,000 subscribers. And basically the videos is all random. It's everything about Bhutan, the culture of Bhutan. Someone was just suggesting, why don't you try pickleball? And that's where I started getting interested and I started researching it. And I was quite taken to it because currently what happens is in Bhutan, when people play sports, it's either football or basketball for the youth, but you require, 10 players of each. And badminton, we tried it also. There's already some indoor courts. But then pickleball, when they suggested it, is something like a tennis. So I was quite attracted to it. So what I did was I went online in Amazon India and I ordered one of my first pickleball bats. And that's where, I got it about a week back and I tried it. So you can look at my YouTube channel. I put it up. There's no audience, of course, but I actually enjoyed playing something in between a mix of table tennis, but at the same time, it was quite fun. Quite close thing. So that made me interested. Yes.
Yeah, it's such a similar game to tennis and badminton in that the ground strokes are similar and the stroke is similar. And the fact that badminton courts are very, very similar to the dimensions of a pickleball court helps, because really you just have to change the kitchen line and then the line that runs forward and backward on the court, just to put that line in there. But the dimensions really help too. How do people in Bhutan respond when they first hear about pickleball? Do they know what it is or do they understand it?
Not really. People, I didn't know much also. So I went online and did some research. And of course, that's where I found out, it's one of the fastest picking sports. Globally, in China, Southeast Asia, India, is really picking up. And I think there's a potential for regional tourism where people come and experience the culture, maybe play with the people. But in terms of the sports, people are not aware. So, for example, when I got the first pickleball bat and I started bouncing the ball, it gives that unique noise, batting something like a cricket bat kind of thing. So what I did was I got my 2 staff to play it. They usually, they're 2 girls. I tell them, please use the facilities for playing basketball or volleyball. They're not interested. But when I got the pickleball bats, I said, okay, now let's try it. So I actually made them play. And I think they did a lot of running and I think they really enjoyed it. So I think, based on that, I think it's quite an easy sport to learn also. So they were very interested. But apart from that, most people in Bhutan really don't know about pickleball. In Bhutan, we really don't have any pickleball courts in Thimphu, in the capital also. In Paro, of course, as I mentioned, there's about 3. I don't know whether they charge or not. But in Thimphu, for example, I think, In terms of badminton, it's only used by the Badminton Federation. But in terms of other courts, I think indoor maybe my one might be the only one which we're exploring. And for example, our courts are also, since it's privately built, it's commercial. You have to charge by the hour. And when you take a basketball court and we hire it out per hour, the cost is spread among 10 players. Whereas when it comes to pickleball, we can't divide, three courts. You can't say we're charging for one court because the court remains idle. So you have to charge for the whole. So it's quite difficult. So I'm just trying to explore because badminton is picking up. But pickleball, if you can get a lot of interest, we can actually start blocking out a time of the week where a certain segment of population who have injuries on the knee. I mean, maybe it's less strenuous or risky to the knee or something. So if you can actually get a certain clientele of age groups to come, maybe you could block out maybe 2 hours a day for pickleball where they can come and play. Rent at a nominal rate. Other thing is also, we're hoping that maybe we can get some sponsors who are interested in hosting maybe events or pickleball. And my thing is, since I'm working in a tourism company, my mother established it in 1999. It's one of the oldest travel companies, and we have had clientels. The King of Kotonga, Charles Ville, the most travel man. He came through our company. So I mean, we have a lot of clientels. So we are hoping that we can actually incorporate pickleball as a part of their travel to Bhutan. And when they come, what we're also hoping is maybe they can also sponsor some local event. We can actually make a video with them or, give them recognition sponsored by, Pickleball Travel or, whatever. And we can make a YouTube video and we give them recognition. So we are trying to incorporate maybe people who want to support the local communities. It could be both. People can come, play some games with the locals, or others could actually support us by, sending funds so we can host tournaments and we can, acknowledge them on our YouTube channel and so forth, and thereby promoting sports, culture, all that.
Exactly. And that Bhutan, when I think of Bhutan, I think of this super exotic place. And as the PPA and as Yola and Selkirk and all these brands start expanding out to all these countries, Bhutan is going to be in there somewhere. Somebody's going to want to swoop in there and get their name and get their brand with Bhutan just because it's that sort of mysterious, unknown place that, I haven't been there. I've been to a lot of places around the world, but Bhutan, it's up in the mountains, and the fact that very few people that I know have been there, even though it is such a terrific looking place, it's going to be on somebody's radar before too long. And Bhutan has only, how many people do you say?
It's about 700,000 people on it.
700,000. And Thimphu is the capital, and that has how many?
It's about, maybe you can say about 100,000.
Well, what are some of the things that you would see in Bhutan if you were a tourist going through your tour company or going through me and going through you on different excursions? The pictures in Bhutan look fantastic. All these mountains and different things. What are some of the highlights of the tours and the type of travel that you do in Bhutan?
We do the 3-star hotel packages, or also luxury, depending on what the clients want. In the past, we have also hosted yoga retreats where people come to Bhutan. The yoga teacher gets a group. They come to Bhutan, and we find them exotic locations or spiritual area venues where they can meet local masters. We can coordinate all that, but the yoga instructor themselves bring the groups, and we organize the logistics for them.
Excellent. So you talked about traveling. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, like you mentioned, what are the experiences that we can provide? Till date, most of the packages actually have been in the cultural. People come, they usually stay a minimum of at least 7-8 days, and they do a cultural tour where they visit, the iconic tiger's nest, the zongs. We have one of the largest Buddha statues in the world. And then along with that, they visit maybe about 3 places, Thimphu, Paro, and Punakha. I mean, that is the bare minimum which any tourists who travel from far should visit. Then in addition, we also have, for example, trekking tours. I mean, the Snowman Trek is one of the longest treks in the world and the highest. It's almost,
what is it called?
28. The Snowman Trek.
Snowman
Trek is, I think you should look it up, is one of the most challenging treks, crossing over one of the, the highest Himalayan ranges in this area. So it's about it can range from 25 to 28 days. and there are people who want to push themselves, and they take it as a challenge, and they come, and we have also organized those. So we also do trekking adventure, and as I mentioned, also we also do spiritual and wellness retreats. And now we're trying to focus on tourism because having my own courts and seeing the interests of people, I'm actually trying to promote sports where the people can come to Bhutan, play with the local people, also maybe host tournaments, and then get they actually mingle with the people and get that experience. In addition to a cultural tour where they experience Bhutan as a whole.
That's it. It's so important to mingle with the locals, and it's so beneficial for the experience in general because whether it be recommendations on food or places to go or all those little things that you don't think about culturally that differs between people in Bhutanese, I take it, Bhutanese, and
Yes.
could be Americans or Westerners or Easterners. All those things are I found to be the most important things that I've gained from the travels I've done in Europe and the Caribbean and different places. So those are the things I think that people will benefit from the most. I'm curious, since the country is sandwiched between India and China, you got to pardon me for not having a lot of knowledge with how Bhutan manages that relationship. But do you have a closer relationship with China or India, or is it maybe not either one? Or how is that to have two huge countries on either side of you?
Yeah, I think it's very challenging. I mean, we are sandwiched between India with a population of maybe 1.2 billion, China with a population of 1.5 billion. But predominantly, Bhutan has always been very close to. I mean, if you look at the geography of Bhutan, like you mentioned, we are sandwiched between China and India. So the top side is actually China, and to the on the left and right and below is actually India. So actually, from three sides, we are bordering with India, and India has always been very supportive of Bhutan, and they've actually funded a lot of, funded a lot of our projects and activities, and they still continue to support us. So officially, I think Bhutan has official ties with India, but not China. 2 3 years back, I played football. I think, like I mentioned, I crashed into one of my friends and I got some ligament tear. So on my knee, after that I kind of stopped playing, football. But I mean, I still want to. So when I go for coaching with my daughter, every Saturday and Sunday we have 2 hours of coaching, basketball coaching for kids. I still play with the kids, but it still hurts a bit. So I'm a little mindful. So I don't think I would actually want to continue, this intensive sports because the impact on the knees are quite heavy. Whereas pickleball, maybe I could kind of control and still get some workout. I did my engineering in Delhi, the capital of India, for 4 years. So I finished from IIT Delhi. My master's, I got a scholarship from the Australian government. So I was in Melbourne for 1.5 years doing a master's of environmental engineering at the University of Melbourne.
What's your image of America and the United States? Is there a certain image that Bhutanese have of Americans, or is it that they are in a rat race, that they are maybe not so connected with family, that they are all into money? Is there certain images that Bhutanese have of Americans?
I guess, I mean, when we talk to the youth nowadays, everyone wants to go to America. I mean, even given the current situation how it is, people still want to go there. It's a land of the free. I mean, I can still imagine myself going to the US and having maybe a hot dog on the street. I guess maybe is the movie, Die Hard. The impact when we were small, we used to watch that Statue of Liberty, all the movies. So I mean, there's a huge appeal. And of course, my son also recently he got a scholarship, so he's studying at Brown University in the
Oh,
US.
wow.
He just completed his first year, so we're very proud of him. So he's there. So I mean, you can see that there's a passion of people wanting to go there because we do feel that it's a land of opportunities. Everything comes down to network, experience, exposure. So that is something which everyone wants to. In terms of the perspective of how we view Americans, I mean, we have had a lot of American tourists who visit Bhutan, and they're very down to earth. I mean, they're passionate. They want to contribute. They come to Bhutan. They mingle. I haven't been to the US, so I cannot say. But all the tourists we have had visit Bhutan, they're lovely people, definitely. And I love to interact and meet them. and share the experiences.
Interesting. And as far as Bhutanese people in general, or maybe even people around that region, is there certain things about them that would surprise myself or Americans or Westerners or any foreigners? Is there something particular about Bhutanese people and the country of Bhutan that would surprise us?
I think Bhutanese can also be very relaxed, laid back. I guess time could be, like, I mean, you can tell me 10 o'clock. I'm more punctual, but generally, sometimes 10 in Bhutan, especially if you go to a remote part of Bhutan, time can actually stand still. You go to some of the towns as the populations are very small, you know. So I mean, since it's small, there's not much activity also. Time can actually kind of stand still, which is very nice because you don't even have a watch. You go there and you don't have to worry about, rushing here, rushing there. Everything just slows down. So it's like, in some ways, if you move out of Thimphu is more, I guess, developed, so a little more time conscious. But if you travel towards the east, time can actually slow down or even stop. So I guess that is something where it's like going back in time, and
Interesting. Yeah,
experiencing
that
the
would be
unique culture.
interesting to go to somewhere where you don't think about time or getting somewhere at a certain time where it's that sort of casual atmosphere. How about the food in Bhutan? How is it?
Hot and spicy. Everything is chili, chili, chili. We eat a
Uh,
lot of rice. So
what kind of
if you look at
chilies?
some of it's a red chili usually grown in Bhutan. So usually everything we call it imatasi, for example, is called chili and cheese. So it's all a combination of that. You can have potato and cheese, which is called kiwatatsi. My son actually made a YouTube video when he was in college. In school, and uploaded on YouTube on how to make imatasi. So it's quite interesting. It's very easy. Just chili, cheese,
Imotatsi?
garlic, imatasi. Ima,
Imotas.
Ema,
Ima?
yeah. Ema is chili, tatsi is
Ima?
cheese.
Tatsi?
Tatsi. Yeah. So you
Tatsi.
got that?
Okay.
Then it can be kiwa tatsi, which is potato and cheese. So it's just
See,
a combination of chili, cheese, rice. I think that's a stable diet.
and it's interesting. And is it possible to get a dish that's not hot for someone like me who's kind of a wuss when it comes to chilies? I get 3 out of 10 at it at the Thai restaurant.
I think one of the complaints tourists sometimes give is in Bhutan is because to cater to tourists who come from abroad, the hotels generally know that most tourists cannot, cater to cannot stand the hot spices. So they make it very mellow. So, so it comes the other way around where people are saying, can you add more chili or, make it more spicy? So, but of course, you can add less chili, and there are different kind of chilies which have less spices also. So accordingly, it can be made so that it mellows down to your taste.
Gotcha. So you can still have the local dishes without having it so hot as the locals.
Definitely, yes.
Interesting. So what's your plan going forward, let's say next month, a few months from now, with your facility that is mainly basketball and badminton, but you've been trying pickleball? Where do you see yourself in 6 months?
Encourage youth in sports, because you feel that when youth are involved, they basically build a team spirit. Like recently, the coach was saying, if you want to play, don't want to pass the ball, you can just play golf. It's like one man sport. But if you want to, play as a team, you need to pass. So then basketball is a team spirit. Where you can play as a team, and you enjoy it as a package. So we want to build coaching in basketball, coaching in volleyball, maybe badminton, and pickleball is something which I'm just putting it out there. I have ordered 2 more sets of pickleball. Definitely, I'll set up the 3 courts, play some games, upload some videos. But as such, and then of course I'll promote it to my clients who want to come to Bhutan, so I can of course keep the courts ready for them to come, and we can actually have games with locals and them. But otherwise, for the locals, it may be challenging unless we can kind of get some support, some funding for people who want to host it in Bhutan. They can fund it, and we can find a community through some community leaders. We can actually get a group, host events, and then it can pick up. So my hope is I'll definitely put it up for proposals, grants, etc., and see where it goes from there.
Bhutan, to me and to people that play pickleball in the States, sounds like this epic destination. I've seen pictures and it looks
It is.
terrific. And to have
It
that
is.
kind of laid back vibe of the local people and the different types of food sounds fantastic to me. Is there any other closing thoughts that you have regarding what you plan on doing with pickleball?
Pickleball in Bhutan is just a start of a journey, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I mean, for visitors, it's a chance for them to come and play in one of the most beautiful countries or places in the world and meet beautiful people of the Bhutanese people. Also, in some sense, it's also a fun, healthy sports that we can encourage in Bhutan, to our local community, eventually, so that they can adapt. And pickleball is not just a game, but more than a game where, we can actually bridge communities also, you know, from America, Bhutan, build some relations where people can get together. And so, in some ways, it's about bridging the cultures while at the same time promoting health and happiness for everyone.
Absolutely. And I'm going to collaborate with you on getting the paddles and nets and the expertise that we have here in the States with pickleball to get all those things over to you. And so, yeah, this is Gary from Pickleball Travel, the travel agency for pickleball players. Be sure to like and subscribe. And also, I'll leave the link of Jigme's social media so that you can also subscribe to that. Very interesting content from a land that is far away, but so interesting. And it's so cool that you guys are developing pickleball. So I'm excited to see where it'll go. And hopefully I'll be there at Bhutan in not too distant future, but we'll see. But I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Gary, for having me.